Hi there. Today we're going to talk about the prime factorization of numbers. It's like the fingerprint. Like your fingerprint identifies who you are. The prime factorization identifies who the number is. And for every prime factorization, it only equals that one number. So if I have number 84, I'm going to get one fingerprint for 84, and that's going to be only for 84. Now, see the number prime? Back in, I don't know what grade you were in, fourth or fifth, you learned about prime and composite numbers. Now, if you need a little reminder what they are, prime numbers are these ones that are highlighted and circled. We have this chart for you, so you don't have to memorize them. But a prime number only has two factors. You can only get there by multiplying 1 and the number. So, for example, the number 2, you get there by saying 2 times 1. 3 times 1, 5 times 1, 7 times 1. That's the only way you can get to that number. For example, 4, you can do 1 times 4, and you can do 2 times 2, right? So that's not prime. That's called a composite number. So all of these that are circled and highlighted are prime numbers. Number 1, okay, let's go back a little bit. Prime numbers have two factors, 1 and itself, right? The number 1 only has one factor because 1 times 1, that's still only one number. So number 1 is neither prime nor composite. Okay, it's still on here, but it's neither prime nor composite, but all the other ones that are not highlighted are called composite numbers. So you're going to need to know these for when you do prime factorization, because prime factorization is all about prime numbers, okay? Factorization means you're multiplying. So what we're going to do first is we're going to take a number, and you will see my Christmas tree here because it's going to create a tree-looking device, okay? So step 1, your first number is going to grow legs. Only 2 legs. 1, 2 legs, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to, step 2, find the two factors of this composite number, okay? It doesn't matter which 2 you choose as long as you don't choose the number 1 in itself, because that doesn't really get you very far. But I can say, oh, look, this number is even. I'm going to divide it by 2. So 2 times 42 would work, because 2 times 42 equals 84. Okay? The step 3, we're going to circle any prime numbers. This is a vital step because once you circle it, you know it no longer grows legs. So the number 2 and the number 42. Okay? 2 is definitely prime. 42 is not. Okay? So 2 gets circled. And then step 4, all composite numbers, again, grow legs. Okay, so this one's going to grow legs. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to keep going until we've got them all circled. Okay, so what 2 numbers equal 42? Let's see, 6 times 7 would work. 2 times 21 would work. I don't know, let's do 6 times 7. Okay, are 6 or 7 on the list? 6 is not. 7 gets circled. Okay, so that's a composite. The 6 is going to grow legs. What 2 numbers multiply together to get 6? Well, 2 times 3 would work. And let's check our list. Yep, 2 is prime and 3 is prime, so they both get circles. All right, so we're not done yet. We're only done with partially part of it, right? So you are finished with this part of it when you have all prime numbers. Okay, there's no more legs. Everything has a circle on it. Okay, so look at your prime numbers. That's step 6. Look at your prime numbers. Probably should say look at your circled numbers, they are prime, but I'm going to say look at your prime numbers, they are circled. It'll work. All right. And then we're going to write them as a multiplicative expression. What we're going to do is we're going to write them in order as a multiplication sentence. Okay? And the key is to do it least to greatest. Anytime that you're doing this, the proper way is to write it least to greatest. It's kind of like when you have your name. You should capitalize it, right? It's still your name if you don't capitalize it, so it's not really wrong, but the proper way is to write all the numbers in order from least to greatest. So, I have 2 2s, a 3, and a 7. And that's kind of in order that way, right? 2 is the smallest, 2 is the smallest, 3 is next, then 7. And if they repeat, that's fine, but you got to write all of them down. Okay? And then, if you have any repeats, you're going to make them into exponents. Okay, so if you remember back with exponents, the base is the big number, and that tells you how many times to do it, right? So, the base is 2, and how many of them do we have? We have 2 of them. And then times 3 and times 7. So this right here is the prime factorization of the number 84. It is the fingerprint for the number 84. Okay? If you have any questions, ask your teacher.